soon as my hair is ready, I'm going to show you a taut line hitch. So, okay, in this video, I was going to show you a knot that I just learned that I wish I'd learned years ago.
Welcome.
Yeah. If you don't already know me, I'm kind of naughty. You could check out my Kinky Polyatheist YouTube channel or my Instagram, and you'll see that I like to tie knots a lot. But as far as camping goes, I'm learning that there are really just two knots that I think you need to know. One is a simple overhand knot, which just looks like a regular knot that you already know how to tie, that is actually very versatile. And I'm finding the second knot is really this taut line hitch. And Rose sent us this video ahead of the PCT hike, and I went and found an image on how to tie it because it looked really useful. So I'll drop that image in here right about here. And let me just show you what it looks like and why it's useful. So a taut line hitch, basically I'm coming from a guideline from my tent to a stake. This right here is a taut line hitch. And the whole point behind it is you could just grab it and move it, right? And you need two hands to tighten. I'm holding the camera. So if you could just tighten that and just make the line taut, that's it. So it's almost like a slip knot, but it holds itself. And so in this specific case, our tent was not staying, the rainfly wasn't staying steady. So we took a couple pieces of paracord, we tied them together with a simple overhand knot.
Upgrade.
I tied a taut line hitch here and a taut line hitch here. And now you can tighten it from either end and make this cord really long or really short, depending on where the peg is. And it's just incredibly useful. And from there, I've got a couple other uses that I'm going to show you that I found for this taut line hitch. See, in this use of the taut line hitch, we've literally just tied it to a rock and tightened it, and it works really well. Another place I used this hitch is in our tent. So we had these cute little loops here that they're not really that useful.
But they are. They made our fort.
So I took one loop and another loop and just connected them with a piece of paracord. This here it's just basically a slip knot using a double overhand knot. But on this side, again, I'm using the taut line hitch. And it was nice because I could just tie it real quick. I could just pull this one tight and then adjust with this and make it as tight as I wanted to fit the tent, because the tent, you don't want it to be too tight because then you'll be messing with the structure of the tent. And now we could just hang things over this. Like I hang my light over this at night, and
The headlamp.
the headlamp and things like that. And when we wanted to do, we made like a fort inside the tent where it was a cold night. I made a line from here all the way to there. Same concept. And I just used a taut line hitch to tighten it just enough to throw one of our sleeping bags over it. So we kind of like slept under one person's sleeping bag and had another sleeping bag over our heads to hold in the heat around us.
And block the draft.
And block the draft. It was really great. It was really great. Another place I've been using this hitch, I replaced the headbands on our headlamps.
Thanks, Fly.
Yeah, another hiker, his name's Superfly. He's an ultralight hiker. He's been doing so much research, and one of the things he found was, this is the lightest lamp you can buy. And,
I found that too.
Well, okay, yeah, Rose also found that.
But there's a shock cord hack.
Yeah, so the band itself weighed as much as the light. So they took the band off and replaced it with a shock cord, which is like stretchy. We didn't have shock cord. I have string. This is from a compass that was on like a necklace. And then we have some paracord here. And I just replaced our headbands with this. So on the one side, we have a bow line. And then on the other side, we have the taut line hitch again. And it's a little easier to see on this one because it kind of came together really nice. This one is, what was nice about this was by having a bow line, you have two lines coming out here. And by having the taut line hitch, you also have two lines coming out here. So it holds it flat against your head. And then it comes together to a single point and goes around the back of your head. And then a single point.
And it's adjustable.
And it's adjustable, right? With Rose's, because she's not super familiar with the knot yet, I tied a stopper knot after I tied the main knot. So if it loosens on her, it'll never come undone. It'll just loosen a little bit and she
Thanks.
can just yank on it and put it, and it'll go back together.
I learned it, but I didn't use it enough. I forgot
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But-
And you can, it's easy to adjust when it's on your head, and then it just stays still. It's great. So yeah, I wish I had learned this knot years ago. So yeah, so that's taut line hitch. It occurred to me because I said earlier in this video that my top two knots, if you're going to be going on a camping trip or a hiking trip like this, are an overhand knot and a taut line hitch. I'm going to probably make another video. I'm just going to walk you through all the uses for an overhand knot because it's pretty surprising. I mean, you can use it to bend rope or put rope together. You can use it for like slip knots, stopper knots, things like that. And so I'll make another video that shows you why you would want specifically to learn these two knots first. So till then, go check out my Instagram for Kinky Polyatheist if you want to see some really cool knots, or go check out my YouTube for Kinky Polyatheist if you want to see some really cool knots. I also have a video, I believe. Yeah, I do. I have a video on this channel where I basically just challenged myself to come up with as many things as I could with a simple knot. I think I came up with like 30 different ways to use it. So if you can't wait for the video on why you would want a basic knot and a taut line hitch, then go look for that other video because it's in my past. It's not going to be hard to find. You know what? For those other videos I mentioned and those other channels I mentioned, just look in the description and I'll drop them in there so you don't have to look for them. They'll just be there.